Hey kids, your warm-up is going to be just glue in your notes and update your table of contents. Now please make sure that you're keeping your table of contents up to date. Look on the board for mine, and make sure you have everything the same copied in. Okay, the objective is to be able to complete long division with 2-digit divisors. Yesterday we did 1 digit, and today you're going to move on to 2-digit. Okay, the vocab is the same as from yesterday. Okay, remember the dividend is the number that's being divided. Okay, so for example, in the example that's 487 divided by 32, the dividend is 487. Okay, whatever comes first in your division problem is the one that's going to go inside the box. The divisor is the one that's being divided. It's the one that's being divided by. So in 487 divided by 32, 32 is the divisor. Okay, that's the one that's going to go on the outside of the box. And then quotient is just your answer to the division problem. So in that case, your answer is 15, or the quotient is 15. Alright, this is the example that is done for you. And I just want to talk about it and explain how they got these answers. So, when you're looking at these, hey, these can be pretty intimidating because a lot of us don't know our 13 facts, our 12 facts, our 21, 18, so on and so forth. Okay, so my trick is to always use estimation to figure out how you're going to multiply it. Okay, you're going to have to use a lot of guess and check when you do this, but it will get easier as we continue to go on. So, I start the same way. So now I'm looking at the number 13, and I look, can it go into 2? No, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a 0 up there. Okay, can it go into 23? Yes, because 23 is bigger than 13. Now, how many times? I'm not sure. Well, if I think of 13 times 2, I get 26. So it's got to be smaller than 2. So I know it has to be 1. So if I subtract 23 minus 13, I get 10. And 10 is smaller than 13, so that means I'm okay. I can take down my 5. Now, I have 13 and 105. Okay? I have no idea what that could possibly be. But I do know that 13 is fairly close to 10. And I know 105 is fairly close to 10 as well. Now, I know that I cannot use 2 digits up here. So the thing that's smaller than 10 is 9. So I'm going to multiply out 13 times 9. Okay, 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 1 plus 2 is 11. Now that's too big. Okay, so I'm going to have to go smaller. So I'm going to go 13 times 8. And I should see all of this multiplication on your paper. Okay, I don't want you to erase it. I don't want you to do it in your head. Okay, when you're doing your homework, all of this multiplication should be on the side. So if I take 3 times 8, that's 24. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 2 is 10. So I'm going to have 104. And that is pretty close. So I have the 8 goes up, and now I'm going to subtract 104. Okay, 5 minus 4 is 1, and the rest is zeros. Okay, so then I have to bring down my 11. Now, some of you ran into this kind of question yesterday on your homework. Okay, if 13 can't go into an 11, I need to put a 0 up here. And that allows me to also bring down my 7. Now, if I look at my other work, I already have 13 times 9 down. So that's 117. I go ahead and subtract that, and I get 0. So my 9 goes up here. So my answer is 1,809. And if you see on your example, we know that we're right. Alright, we're going to move on to our next example. 360 divided by 12. Okay, some of you know your 12s. And if you don't, 12s are pretty easy to make a list because I know it's 12, 24, 36. Okay, 36, well, I know 12 doesn't go into 3, but it does go into 36, and I can see that 1, 2, 3 times. So I put my 3 on top, and I subtract 36. Now, 36 minus 36 is 0, and then I pull down a 0. Okay, if I have to pull down 2 zeros, remember, I still need a digit here. So I'm going to, so it's, if I have 0 left over, well, 12 goes into 0 0 times. And then I'm done. Okay, I can check my answer by multiplying. So I have zeros for the front row. I have 0, 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 1 is 3, so that is 360. So my answer for the first example is 30. All right, we have 21 into 588. Now this is, again, is one of those, I have 21 and I don't know my 21s, okay? So I'm going to use my estimation. Well, first of all, I know that 21 doesn't go into 5, so I'm going to put a 0 up there. So now I'm looking at 21 and 58. Well, 21 is really close to 20, and 58 is really close to 60. So I'm going to try 21 times 3. Now, I already should know that this is going to be way too big, because I take 2 times 3, I'm going to get 60. And 21 times 3 is 63. Okay? But that's what's going to happen when you multiply. You're going to have to use guess and check. So then I take 21 times 2, because I know 63 is going to be bigger than 58. So 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So I'm going to subtract 42. And I have to put my 2 up there. Don't forget that this number is the one that goes up here. So now I subtract. 8 minus 2 is 6. 5 minus 4 is 1. 16 is smaller than 21, so I bring down my 8. Now, 21 into 168, same thing. I have a 20, and I have about 170 or 160. Well, I know that 2 goes into 16 8 times. So I'm going to try 21 times 8. And again, I should see all this multiplication on the side of your paper. And the sub is going to be looking for it when you bring your notes up there. So make sure you're following along with me. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. So I have 168. And that is 168 exactly. And that was 21 times 8. Okay, I can check and take 28 times 21. I have 28, put in my 0, that's 16. Add them up, and I get 588. So 28 is my answer. All right, this will be the last one that we do together, and then you'll try some on your own. Okay, so I have 18 and 64. Okay, again, 18 is close to 20, and 64 is close to 60. So I'm going to first try 18 times 3. Okay, 8 times 3 is 24, and I get 54. So 64 minus 54. I know that's going to be less than 18, so I'm going to go ahead and put my 3 up there. 10 is less than 18, so now I can bring down my 8. Okay, now 20 into about 100. Okay, now I can see that this number is going to be less than 20 by quite a bit. Okay, that's 2 less. So I'm still going to try 18 times 5, because 20 goes into 100 5 times. So I have 0, I have 4, 90. Okay, 90 is too big. Remember, we're not going to have remainders. Okay, so now I need to try something bigger. I need to try 18 times 6. 8 times 6 is 48. 6 plus 4 is 108. So my answer is 36. Take 36 times 18. I get 648. So I know I'm correct. All right, make sure that you pause this one and try it on your own first. Okay, it's really important that you try it first, and then you can come back and make sure you have the correct answer. Okay, so 22 into 92. Well, I kind of know my 22s are doubles, so I'm going to take 22 times 4, because I know that's 88. Okay, 92 minus 88 is 4. So I didn't bring down my 4. 22 goes into 44. 2 times, I'm sorry. 22 times 2 is 44. So my answer is 42. All right, and your last example. 2,365 divided by 55. Okay, I know 55 doesn't go into 2, so I put a 0. But I also know 55 doesn't go into 23, so I put a 0. So now I have 55 into 236. Okay, well I'm looking about at 60 here, and I'm looking about at 240. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe 4, so let's try it. 55 times 4, 5 times 4 is 20. Okay, looks like that's about as close as I'm going to get. So I put my 4 up here, and then I subtract, and I get 16. Okay, I have 165. So again, I have 60, and close to 165 is 180, or I can look at it 50 and 150. So I know that it has to be less than 4, because I already did that one, and 165 is less than 4. So I'm going to try 3. So I have 5 times 3 is 15, 5 times 3 is 165. So my answer is 43. All right. Make sure that you answer those couple of quiz questions, and then your homework is going to be due on Thursday.